Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Solid Report here on January 6th. And my friends, we are in 2026. That's right, 2026. Can you really believe that we've been through a whole year already? 2025 went by just like that. And here we are. Yes, I know. I apologize. I am late. I apologize. But thank you all for being here. There are a lot of people at the CES event, which congratulations you guys for going. I'm here stuck over here in Florida, where it is actually it's pretty nice out here, so can't really complain. But I'll tell you something that's doing really good. That is definitely the stock market. The stock market is just insane. Ooh, the mic. Hold on. Let me just fix this for 1 second. Oh, there you go. All right, definitely fixed there. All right, so we have the stock market here just ripping everyone's faces off. Let me just open up the charts over here. 1 second. Man, I mean, I don't know how anyone can not be happy at all when it comes to late stock market. But I'm going to share the screen. And no, that's not the one right here. Ooh, look. Hey, everyone. It's me. All right. So here we go. We got the stock market open in this chart. I just want to make sure, the thing is that I'm working from a single screen right now because I'm on the road. But I hope I'm sharing the stock market screen. I hope I'm sharing TradingView, but we have an insane rally the last couple of days. For one thing, SPY today made a new all-time high sitting over here at 692. Now, 692 is definitely an all-time high, but we did recently test this just at the end of December, right before. I don't even know if we want to call that a Santa Claus rally or anything, because that was the most depressing way to end the entire year. But we're coming back here at new all-time highs. And this all-time high looks better than last time because you've had this massive, well, not a massive, but you had a pretty decent sell-off back here, then back here, came in to retest all-time highs, broke the all-times here, and then rejected it and came back. So that this little like back test here of this little candle right here, coming up here, especially, actually, let's take a look at the volume real quick. The volume is okay, but I would still say that this definitely looks a lot better and something that's sustainable than this all-time high right here, especially this one. Like if this one went all the way up here, and when it hit the all-time high over here, you can't really expect it to continue going. So the price needs to kind of pull back a little bit and come back, and then it broke down and came back. Like this is a much better, and plus it's the beginning of the year where you have all these fund managers trying to throw money at whatever's actually working, which name you. I was on here the second to last day of the year, and I was giving out my 2026 picks, and like Zeta is just doing tremendous. Path actually is up like 7% today, which is pretty interesting because it was actually down in the morning. And then, I mean, I guess like a 7% move, 8% move intraday is actually really good. Of course, everyone knows AMKR is up a lot. This is the one that I'm actually very upset that I did not go long over here. Skywater, man, I was talking about this thing over here and over here. And I was like, oh, I'll wait till it pulls back so I get an entry. And like clearly, I did not get an entry. In fact, there's a complete opposite of an entry. It was just ripping my face off, not giving me any entry whatsoever. But it is what it is, guys. We can't catch up everything. 3 days in a row over 3%. Congratulations, June. Great to see you. Yes, Guillermo, great to see you. Ticker Tax, great to see you as well. And a lot of you guys are doing good. Yeah, I know. SanDisk. There's actually a chart that I saw on Twitter from Wall Street Engine, and it basically shows all of the stocks that are up the most this year. Actually, let me just go ahead and search Wall Street Engine right here. All right, so he posted. Yeah, here we go. S&P 500 component year-to-date returns. SanDisk is up 42% year-to-date. And this was actually, I'm in Eastern time zone. So I know this is pretty weird to see because, I mean, I live in LA, which if you guys don't know, I do live in LA 3 hours behind Eastern, but I'm actually in Eastern time zone, which just takes a little bit more to get used to. But 3 hours ago, you had SanDisk was up 42% year-to-date. And this is the third trading day of the entire year. And we're using the term year to date. I mean, it is relevant, but SanDisk is up 42% year to date. That's 4 times over the annualized return over the last 100 years for the S&P 500. Western Digital is up 25%. Lam Research was something that I've known for a little bit. Never really went long it. And to be honest, I never thought the memory sector would really be this hot, especially in 2026. I mean, 42% year to date on SanDisk is just wild to see. After it was even the best performing stock of 2025 too, I believe. So just to think that it's already 42% up in just a matter of a few trading days, just wild to think. And you also have Kalo Corp, which is part of the Fab Five that Chip Stock Investor talks about a lot. Applied Materials as well, which is also in the same sector as Lam Research. You have Teradyne, Microchip, and everything. Like a lot of these semiconductor stocks are up a lot. And then on top of that, actually, let's take a look at SanDisk. It's probably up way more right now than it was earlier today. Yeah, SanDisk is up 26% today. And then, so if I look at the 1 hour candle here, yeah, so I mean, it is up pretty considerably from when it was 3 hours ago, like 3-4%, but like still, I mean, a 26% move is just wild. And I know a lot of you guys are long Ondas as well. Ondas is up pretty large year to date. I mean, it didn't look good like a few weeks ago. It looked really bad a few weeks ago, but here we are today, and I can't complain. I can't complain one bit that we're hitting these highs. It is nice to see that Bitcoin's kind of bouncing a little bit from the lows that it had recently, but it would be very nice. Actually, this is the 1 hour chart. Yeah, actually, Bitcoin's been looking really good. I was looking at 1 hour chart. I don't know why I was looking at 1 hour chart, but this looks like it's a pretty sustainable bottom. We had, of course, the lows that we saw below 80K. Actually, did it go below 80K? The low was, no, it didn't go below 80K. It's 80.5K. And it bounced and then sold off, bounced, sold off, and then bounced and sold off. Like we got like a lot of these fake breakouts over here, fake breakout. But then you had today where it's just basically been ripping up. This candle right here that's forming, we'll see what happens. It was at 94K and sold off. I think it's probably going to go to 100,000. I've been pretty bullish since the beginning of the year, thinking that, okay, well, you had that catalyst event with Venezuela, of course, which everyone's thinking like, what does that have to do with the stock market? But when you coincide that with the beginning of the year and all the liquidity being that needs to be positioned for the entire year, because generally these large institutions, they don't really trade like the intraday moves. They usually set themselves up and then stay there for a while, staying with the themes and everything. And you could already see that it appears, because especially Bitcoin, since, let's see here, it bottomed. I didn't really bottom, but it basically hit near its low on the last trading day of last year, December 31st. Actually, December 30 was the last trading day of the year. Actually, no, December 31st was the last trading of the year. The first was the day off. But you can see that Bitcoin just been going up since then. So clearly there's a lot of buying going on with Bitcoin. And I hope we hit new all-time highs in Bitcoin this year. It has just been a non-performer lately. But to make an all-time high, because right now we're 27% away from the all-time highs in Bitcoin. So to go from the all-time high down, yeah, I think we're about 24%. But to go back up there, guys, it's not to say, you don't just say, oh, so we have to add 27% more. No, like, in order to go to new all-time highs here, it needs to rally like 35%. So there's a pretty big move that needs to happen to Bitcoin. It basically needs to go up almost 50% or 35% in order to make those new all-time highs of Bitcoin. But I mean, it could happen. It could happen. I mean, it's had a crazy move in the last few days. It's basically up since its recent lows about 8%, which is pretty considerable. But I got to say, Ethereum is definitely the one that's doing a lot of magic here when it comes to crypto land. So Ethereum is up 12%. So if we do get some more positive momentum in Bitcoin, especially if I look at the crypto table I have here, I always track the Ethereum and Bitcoin, the ratio. So the higher this chart goes, it means the more Ethereum is outperforming Bitcoin because it's a ratio of it. And you can see here that Ethereum is outperforming Bitcoin, and it has for some time. But of course, when Bitcoin is weak, Ethereum is going to go down more. So if we reach those all-time highs, there's a pretty good chance that Ethereum is going to reach an all-time high a lot sooner than Bitcoin if we do keep up that momentum. But yeah, I mean, we have the Q0 is up almost 1% today. SPY is up 62 basis points today. I mean, it's overall been an amazing last few days, last trading day specifically. So what's going on, everyone? Welcome to the show. Am I in QXO? I am not in QXO. I hope good things about that one. Trump playing 4D chess. Actually, it's pretty interesting because I think they did bring in a new president for Venezuela. And let me just find an image of the president for Venezuela. I saw a picture of that one before. Hold on. Oh, I can't exactly find it. I don't know. Maybe I'll find it when I'm playing one of the stuff later. But I did hear that they're bringing in a new president of Venezuela. Pretty funny one, actually. So anyway, guys, welcome back to 2026. We're back here to start the show. We have a lot of good things to talk about. We're going to talk about XAI, recent news that they raised $20 billion for AI data center and GPU cluster expansion. We're going to talk more about Zeta, of course, because like I've been doing the whole time, I've basically been talking about Zeta almost every single stream for like the last month. And look, it's paying off. Like, right, like it's great to see these things kind of play out. And I've been pretty vocal about it. So it's good to see that if somebody was able to join in on it, you're reaping the gains too. On Semiconductor is doing really great. AMKR is really doing great on that one. Kudos against the stock talk on that one. He's the one who kind of brought that one up to my table. And that one, of course, performing great. NVIDIA is probably going to hit the 200s if we see this momentum continue to happen, especially CES yesterday was like probably one of the most bullish events you could possibly have. But on top of that, it wasn't only bullish, but I mean, the market wasn't exactly bullish at that point either. So when you have like people concerned about 2026, 2026 might not be a great year. We've had 3 back-to-back 20% plus years or close to 20% plus years in the stock market. People are like, I'm going to take some cash away for 2026 because it's been such a good 3 years. Let me just get out a little bit. And you see this market just have this crazy news with Venezuela, and then everyone comes rushing back. I mean, that's usually what happens. Like you can't just go up, 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 up every single day. You got to kind of like pull back a little bit so you can just shake out some people. So that way to push it back higher, because there's always a seller for every buyer and a buyer for every seller. The buyers become more aggressive, where instead of buying at the bids, which means like the lower end of the spread, they're buying the ask, which means that they're like buying at a higher price than the market is actually offering them, which is really good to see because that's what really brings it up. Yeah, I mean, we'll see who the new president of Venezuela is. Guys, if you're here for political opinions and all that stuff, you are tuned into the wrong place. I honestly try to stay as neutral as possible. Of course, I'm going to have my views, but I'm not going to talk about them on here because, to be honest, we're here for the stock market. And if the market goes up, then I don't really care at that point, right? Because that means we're all making money, you know? So hopefully you're invested in stocks, you're invested in assets, which is really the only way to outperform nowadays, because you certainly can't do it with a 9 to 5. At least for most people, you can't do it with a 9 to 5. So that's what we're here for. We're here for financial news. Now, first thing of the day, I wanted to go over, man, it is very difficult to do this with only one screen. I should have brought like a monitor or something and make things like a lot easier for myself. The first thing we're going to talk about today is Lisa Su. So Lisa Su did have a keynote last night, my time. Or I guess, well, no, it was last night, all of our time. So in the US time, it was last night. And it was quite bullish. I mean, it's just I don't know how many times I have to say this, but you came into CES with not that great sentiment for 2026. And then it ends up being, you know, this is a normal CES, right? Like, of course, I'm going to say bullish stuff because like they got to pump their bags. But anyways, the thing is that all of a sudden people get excited. People buy and they see it go higher. So what do people do when price goes higher? They buy more, right? And that's kind of what you're seeing right now, especially when you saw like a lot of selling, especially in the small cap and in like the speculative space. And now like it's really all coming back. But I wouldn't even say that it isn't unjustified. I mean, a lot of these valuations are pretty insane to think about it, even after they've ran like 20, 30, 50%. Like even Micron is up so much. I mean, it is getting to correct valuations at this point, but like this thing was brutally undervalued. I just didn't think it was going to run up another 50% after it already ran up basically double in a matter of a few months. So let's go ahead and take a look at this clip from Dr. Lisa Su, the homie G, probably one of the OGs of the entire world. Jensen Huang is the OG of AI, but let's be honest, Lisa Su she's a killer, man. Like she knows exactly what to say, exactly what to do, and she really turned an AMD around. I'll get more into that thoughts after the clip. So I'm going to go ahead and play for this, you guys. Let me actually just make sure I'm sharing the audios here. Boom, boom, boom. Here we go.
Morning, Carl. Thank you, and thank you, Lisa, for being with us here this morning at CES. You had the opening keynote at CES last night. You talked about Yada scale computing. Sometimes it sounds like folks in the technology industry are just making up words, but this is real. What is Yada scale?
So, John, great to be here. Always great to be at CES, and there's so much excitement this year. Look, what we're seeing is, the show is all about AI, and it is, our theme is AI everywhere for everyone. And so when we look at, just the demand environment that we've seen just over the last couple of years, just today, we have like 100 zettaflops of compute, which sounds like a lot. It's 100 times increase.
Whoa, 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 whoa. What did she just say?
It's 100 times increase over the last, 4 or 5 years. It's 100 times increase over the last 100 zettaflops of.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Just today, we have like 100 zettaflops of compute.
Okay, guys, she's not actually talking about Zeta, obviously, but I just thought that was pretty funny.
Which sounds
it's not like Palantir being called out in the NVIDIA conference call or anything, which would be amazing if Zeta was called out. But anyways, sorry to interrupt. I just thought that was funny.
A lot. It's 100 times increase over the last 4 or 5 years that we're projecting forward, and we're seeing a demand environment where you're going to have, you're going to go from 1 billion active users in AI today to over 5 billion active users over the next 5 years, and so you need a lot more compute. So
Dr. Lisa Su says that you have 1 billion active AI users today. She thinks we're going to 5 times that, a 500% gain. That is essentially a Robin Hood gain in a year. I mean, that's just wild to fathom. I'll continue.
A flop is actually 10 to the 24th. If you think about it, 1 in 24 zeros, that's how much more compute we're going to need to put on. And it is really just an amazing time when you think about, how much AI can really add in terms of use cases over the next 4 or 5 years.
How confident can investors be in this demand calculation when so much of what's going into this isn't yet profitable? Like, people are taking losses on the expectation of the productivity that this is going to deliver. And, valuations are kind of high right now. I think there's some concern that at some point, if there's a bump in the road, a couple of wheels come off the truck.
John, I wouldn't say that that this is about, where is the return on investment. I think this is about looking at the long-term potential, where you really see that, computing unlocks intelligence. And it makes businesses much more productive. It makes people much more capable. It helps us do so many different things. So we're actually seeing a number of real-world use cases that are absolutely returning on investment. We had, for example, a lot of conversation. Greg Brockman was on with us last night talking about the key productivity use cases that they're seeing with OpenAI. We had a number of leading startups that were talking about their new models that are revolutionizing how we think about entertainment and video production and those kinds of things. We even we had a healthcare panel talking about real-world use cases for drug discovery, for genome tracking. All of these things are cases where we're seeing the direct benefits of AI in terms of science and enterprise and business. So I'm absolutely confident that that demand environment is going to continue and actually accelerate as we see these use cases go much broader in scale.
A robot, a humanoid robot, is becoming a requirement, it seems, in AI.
Man, I keep on doing that, guys. I need to get better at this. I appreciate it. All of you appreciate it. Yes, I'm muted. Said the mic is low, whatever. I appreciate it. I apologize. But anyways, before I continue, just want to say that the 115 of you that are signed onto my YouTube page, I want you to head over to the Wolf account or the Wolf Financial YouTube page. Go ahead, subscribe, and watch the video on there. I'm actually going to be cutting over exclusively to that one in about 10, 15 minutes. We can watch the rest of it from there. and it's no longer going to be live in the on my YouTube page. And I'm going to do that for the next couple of weeks just to get everyone on there, most because that's where I just want to stream in one place, and definitely doing a lot of great things working with the Wolf team on that one. But anyways, we have this is the third year of the AI bull run, right? And obviously the bull market was going to come back at some point, but the thing is that when you always have a massive theme, right? And the big theme in this case is going to be AI. That's basically been the theme since ChatGPT 3 came out back in 2022. And if you look at how things have progressed since then, obviously NVIDIA has just been going up the whole time. But you have these other companies, specifically AMD, where it went up a lot and then it came back down and went up again. But you have these other companies, including the hyperscalers, which I personally don't think that AWS or Amazon has made its serious move yet. You have these smaller companies where right now the theme is memory companies. So you have Micron or MU is up insanely in the last year. You have SK Hynix, which we can't really trade here in the US unless you're participating in the stock market in Korea. That one's up a lot. You have Samsung, which is up a lot as well. A lot of these memory stocks are doing great. Before that, what was the theme? The theme was data center, right? The theme was IREN, Nebius, CoreWeave, and all that stuff. And IREN ran to like $75. Nebius went to $150. And the question is, is that going to happen again? I mean, we don't know if that's going to happen again, but one thing you got to remember with the market is that it dives into these themes and it pushes the momentum up higher, higher, and higher. And this is the reason why, for me personally, why I need to be fluid of what I'm going to be invested in and concentrating specifically in the market, because once the market is done with a certain theme, the stock could still go up, but it's probably not going to outperform. And the reason why I mentioned that is because I don't know if that data center theme is going to come back as crazy as it was before. Yes, Nebius can go to $200, right? Which is a double from here, which is crazy to really think about. But is Nebius going to 5 times from here in a matter of less than a few months? I don't know. It already did do that. It went from $26 all the way to 147, and it pulled back to 72 recently, and now it's around $90 right now. In fact, let's go check out what Nebius is at right now. I gotta share the entire screen, unfortunately, but if I go back over here to my big watch list, we look at Nebius, and I checked this morning, and a lot of these stocks were not doing so great today. Okay, so IREN is down 5% today. Nebius is at $100. All right, baby, let's go. All right, but it's I mean, look at this crazy move it had before. It was all the way at $140, right? It's just it's probably going to go to 200. At least it is going to go to 200, and I have to say that with confidence because I'm investing in this company. I have a big position in it, but that's not at 5 times from here. That's just a double, right? The big move when it was a major theme in the market was from $24 all the way to $140. For IREN, the big move was when it was single digits all the way to $75. IREN can double from here and be $100, which everyone would be so happy for, but that wouldn't be your massive move. This was the massive move, and the market moves from different sectors to another, different themes to another, and makes that big move. And as a long-term swing trader or as a portfolio manager, I want to rotate into those things, making the big move. And I'm not going to catch every single one, but right now for me, I mean, man, my money is on Zeta right now. This thing is just, or Zeta right now. And this thing is just going up and up every single day. And actually not every day. It's just basically been chopping around for a long time. And actually, this has not been a great performer at all for the last year and a half. That thing was already at $400, and it was chilling down here in the low double digits for a while. And I think that it's got a lot more to go. I still think that the stock is not criminally undervalued, but I still think it's undervalued, especially for justifying its triple beats that it does, 16 out of 17 quarters, and the fact they're guiding a lot higher following the Marigold acquisition, the fact that 2028 they plan to be at 20% to 30% free cash flow margins. I don't think that's priced into the stock yet, and I think it will eventually. And let's say Zeta goes to $50, $60. Well, I'm probably going to start scaling out of it and then rotating into the next theme, which could be a different theme at some point, right? And then currently, I actually think this theme is going to last for a while. Rocket has been insane. It's making new all-time highs basically every single day, and this is just what the market does. And there'll be a point, which we did see before, Rocket went to $74 and then pulled all the way back to $40 in the matter of a month or two. And it needed time to pick up again. And, you have your short-term themes, you have your medium-term themes, you have your very long-term themes, right? And Rocket is probably a very long-term theme, but then you have your very short-term themes when it comes to Tempest AI, which is just on a massive downtrend for a while. So I'm not currently long Tempest AI. I was, and I caught a lot of this move, but it's not something I want to get into right now. And like something like Lemonade too. Lemonade's probably going to go higher, but I'm like trying to scale up my sizing. In fact, I've been trimming on it lately a lot to add to like Zeta and On Semiconductor and AMKR. But I mean, it basically did it 3 times, right? So it's like, I try to stay fluid and try to stay ahead of this. I'm not like a buy and hold type of person when it comes to the majority of my portfolio. Like, there is that set it and forget it positions where I do have like Robinhood, Amazon, and so on. But then there's positions where I want to catch the bulk of the entire move. And I mean, it might be that one. What are my views on Rubric? I mean, I'm still long Rubric. I'm unsure, why it's not catching a bid lately, but it is what it is. We can't really do anything about it. Rubric I've been invested in since like basically its IPO level, so 30. So I'm just going to send in that one. That one is likely a set it and forget it position for me, only because it's like, I think that might take, I don't think it's Rubric's problem. Well, they are not profitable from a gap perspective, but I do think that it's going to take a little bit of time for the market to shift back into that software AI space, which we haven't really seen yet happen. It's going to happen at some point, and I think at that point, that is when Rubric really is going to come back. I made more money today than I spent an entire year. All the games make me nervous. Well, damn, you probably made a lot of money, because I did not make as much money as I spent the entire year. But I mean, congratulations to you. I'm open up for adoption in case you want to adopt me. So anyways, yeah, Rocket Lab is pretty insane. Oh, look at that. SoFi's back about 27 bucks. I don't understand what the deal with SoFi is. Like, I feel like you need to shake out a lot of the bulls in SoFi. Not you guys, but a lot of the bulls that are in SoFi before it moves higher, because I remember when the thing went to like 18 bucks, people immediately after were like, this thing's going to 20, right? And then of course it goes to 10. And then everyone's like, this piece of crap stock, I'm going to sell it. Everyone started selling the SoFi, going to other stuff, whatever. And then it made its move to 30 bucks. It's just like, this happens all the time in the stock market. And it's so funny. It's so funny how that keeps happening. But that's just the way the market works. Money gets chased, prices gets chased, and that's what brings prices higher. All right, so that really does it with the current segment. Where is Amit? Amit is at CES right now. He's currently interviewing Jensen Huang. No, I don't know if he's interviewing Jensen Huang, but there's going to be some interesting events happening later on today. Specifically, Dan Ives and Zeta CEO is going to be having an interview. Let me actually bring up that one right here. Where's my X account? All right, so we have this oh, look at that guy. Oh, double post. This guy's double posting everything. All right, so I'm actually going to put this one on here. I just want to put that in my pin. All right, so we have an interview with Zeta and Mr. Daniel Ives, who's one of the leading Wall Street analysts. A lot of you guys already know about Dan Ives. I actually hope to have him on the show one time, probably in the near-term future. That's just going to be baller. I mean, usually when he does those interviews and stuff, unless it's in person, I don't know, he doesn't really like wear those pink outfits, but like that'd be really cool if he like wears that pink outfit and stuff. But yeah, he reposted this. He reposted this, which is amazing to see. And, it's great to see that Mr. Dan Ives is looking at my stuff. So shout out to you, Dan Ives. Appreciate you, man. But anyways, he's going to be interviewing the CEO of Zeta, David Steinberg. And, I think I'm pretty sure Dan has been bullish to stock for a long time. So it's good to see a lot of Wall Street recognition from it. You have a lot of famous Wall Street analysts talking about it. Daniel Newman from Future Equities is talking about it. Dan Ives talking about it. It'll be crazy if Tom Lee starts talking about it too. But clearly there's a lot of excitement with this. Now, this doesn't mean the stock's going to go higher. And I've said this many times, right? There's real risk when it comes to Zeta. It is a marketing platform that obviously has a lot of capabilities in it, which makes it a great product. That caters to the marketing budget for companies. And what happens when the economy slows down? Marketing budgets get cut in half, or even more sometimes. So we need to be a little bit more realistic with that. We need to be realistic with what's going to happen here. But I would say out of all the stuff out there, it is pretty undervalued in my opinion. I've gone over that ad nauseum with Amit on previous stream stuff, so you guys can go ahead and check out previous streams. But I did want to play this clip for you guys. It was I did this one with Amit last Wednesday. And I mean, basically, I was on there trying to pitch Zeta and a few other of my picks for 2026. But this one is specifically the one to invest in this stuff. Zeta. Hold on a second. I do want to make sure that I'm sharing the sound on here real quick. Okay, I am sharing the sound. Perfect. So I'm going to play this real quick. Don't think that it can keep going up, right? I love the price action. I love it. I am bullish Zeta. I have call options on it. I love the company, right? I'm bullish on it. You have to understand the risks when it comes to stocks. You need to understand the sector it's in and how any external factors, which is outside of the company's power, which includes the economy, will affect stocks or specific companies more than it does for other ones, right? Procter & Gamble is not affected that much by the economy. In fact, it is a risk-off stock that usually gets bought. Zeta is a growth stock. Keep in mind when you buy it, but I am bullish Zeta. It is 10% of my portfolio. I kid you not, it is 10% of my portfolio as it stands today, and 10% of that is an option. All right, so, wow, that's still playing in the background. That's quite annoying. Man, it is so hard to do this through a freaking laptop. I need to have a second screen. I'm going to try to see if I can get a second screen for tomorrow so I don't have to like keep on doing all this stuff. What is my average cost on Zeta? Yeah, I know you meant Zeta. I think it's around 16.5. Let's go ahead and take a look at some charts real quick. All right, here. So if I go to... Yeah, I was buying a lot around, I started buying here. I think it was like around 17. Yeah, so I saw the interview, like the interview that he had in CNBC. You can go ahead and check the last video with the interview. I saw when I was like around 18.5 and like a lot of people were bullish it. And then of course it pulls back. Like it always pulls back whenever people like are very bullish something. It's just how the market is. So I started buying it around here. And then I bought more and more and more, and then I bought more, and I think I started buying call options when it was already in the 17. So I should have started buying call options earlier. But then when we had this pullback right here, when when everyone was getting uber bullish about it, including myself, I didn't know it was going to come back to 17 bucks, but it did. But I did take that opportunity to buy more call options. I basically rolled all of my leaps that I had that were expiring in 2027 to March calls. And the reason why is because I would rather allocate that capital toward controlling more shares versus owning like out of the money leaps, which are at $20, which is obviously not out of the money anymore. But I'm not trying to like go super leveraged on this because only at the time, only 10% of my portfolio or this position, which was already 10% of my portfolio, 10% was in call options and they were all in the money, right? So I think I have the $15 ones. I forget the exact strike. I got to check it out. But yeah, I'm sitting on those. And now those options are like probably 20% of the position. And the rest is in shares. So, you know, enjoying it, enjoying the gains. Can we have a pullback? Probably, right? Like the market always pulls back when everyone gets uber bullish. And my pickup is that people are bullish, but like I don't think we're like uber bullish levels where it's going to pull back. But who knows? Who knows? We'll see. I don't have plans to sell. I don't have plans to trim any, so I'm going to go ahead and hold on to that one. So that is the position for Zeta. On semiconductor has been on quite a run lately. You guys can go ahead and check out the last video. I don't want to go over the whole thing, but on semiconductor obviously is doing very good. So is AMKR. And the reason why that these companies are, well, not Zeta specifically, but the reason why on semiconductor and AMKR are doing really good is because you already had the Vera Rubin announcement come out from NVIDIA, which is basically like the updated Rubin, which is like, so we're already on Blackwell. And what they did was they basically skipped the second version of Blackwell and just went straight into Rubin, which I didn't really expect. They usually do like, it's like with the iPhones, like, well, the way the iPhones used to go was that usually had like the new model and then they'd have like the whatever the 10, oh no, the 12S or no, actually they stopped at 12. They used to have like 7S or like the 5S or the 6S, but then now NVIDIA was just like, let's just go straight to Rubin, right? But then now they released Vera Rubin, which is basically like the equivalent of the Grace Blackwell, so like the ultimate AI supercomputer. So I think that's what they're kind of doing. They're coming out with like that that model, and then like an AI server of that model, where it's basically like an entire board with 2 of these chips, whatever it was. I didn't watch the entire CES yesterday, but it's clearly bullish the entire sector. And AMKR is actually one of NVIDIA's suppliers, especially when it comes to packaging and testing, actually more for TSM. So when you're having more of this onshoring theme, you're going to have more productivity of chips. Like anytime you see like bullishness when it comes to demand for chips, AMKR is definitely a part of that one. I think the market is recognizing that one. And on semiconductors, more with power chips of the EV industry. So anytime you see like bullish moves with EVs, it's definitely bullish for on semiconductors, since they're one of the only US semiconductor companies for power chips. But specifically, this one's the most profitable one, and they're expanding very quickly in the US. So don't want to get too deep into that one. We'll see what happens with that one. Oh, wow, we're 35 minutes in. I haven't been taking track of timelines yet. But anyways, all 219 of you that are watching this one on my YouTube channel, go ahead and to the Wolf YouTube channel. In about a couple minutes, I'm going to stop streaming from my channel. So make sure you go to the Wolf YouTube channel and watch the video on there. And I will continue to stream on there. Actually, let me go ahead and get the Wolf YouTube link for you. Here we go. All right. It's actually really quiet in here. It's a lot quieter than my kitchen at home. All right. So this is the link for the, oh, wow. That's not fun to deal with. Hold on. Wow. Totally messed up on that one. Where is my YouTube link? Hold on. Sometimes I need to have that like background music going on, so it's not like awkward, just like sitting here trying to pull up something for you guys. All right. This is the link for the YouTube on the Wolf channel. And you guys can go ahead to that link from my channel just to watch it from there. We got about 19 people that are on the Wolf one. So go ahead and log into there. I'm going to continue doing it on the Wolf channel. So 210 of you, make sure you head over there. Otherwise, the stream is going to stop for you very soon. But yeah, we got 3 minutes to close. Thank you for letting me know. I'm so bad at these market closes, but like, I mean, Homie G is at CES right now. So he's the one who obviously tears these market closes apart. So I'll do the best I can. I don't have a bell. I wish I had the bell. The link is also in our video description. Oh, it is? Cool. We are here at Wolf. Well, thank you very much. Welcome to Wolf. All right. So we got about 2 minutes for market close. Let's go ahead and share that screen, gentlemen. Oh, we got 20 people that moved over. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate you guys. All right. So after the market closes, I'm gonna cut the stream on my YouTube channel, and you're gonna have to go to the Wolf YouTube channel. Don't mean to pull the rug on you guys, but I mean, come on. I don't want to stream to 2 different places. That'd be like messed up. That'd be super messed up. But anyways, let me go ahead and share my lay market screen. All right. Oh, look at that. CNBC, YouTube. I wonder if he's going to play another clip from CNBC. I don't know. Maybe he might play another clip. We'll see. All right. So it is. Open up. Open up. Yeah. Okay. Well, we still got 1 minute left. I bet you're going to like fumble this thing. How do I get the time on here? Labels. Countdown to bar close. Boom. There you go. All right, guys. We have 40 seconds left until lay market closes. Do you want to go to the 15-minute chart, 30-minute chart, 30. I appreciate the 30-minute chart. The 30-minute chart looks pretty good. All right. We have 34 seconds until the market closes. We are closing at a new all-time high, everyone. So cheers to that one. Let's some Starbucks. All right, so we have 20 seconds until the market closes. The Qs are closing at high of day. S&P 500 SPY ETF is closing near high of day. BMNR is not closing at high of day. That would be very nice to see you BMNR bulls out there to get very rich off that one. We have 4 seconds left till the market closes, baby. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Oh, there we go. The market just closed. The S&P 500 closes at 69.85 of 62 basis points today. The Qs closed at 89 basis points, 623.48. The big move today, in my opinion, was IWM. This one made a massive move intraday, all the way from the low of day to the high of day, a massive near 2% move. And that's the reason why a lot of you guys got very rich in the middle of the day, including you, June, as well, making more money than you spent an entire year. AMKR, 6.54% on the day. Lemonade, 4.1% a day. BM&R is actually down 3% today, but who knows? Maybe that sucker might change later on. Amazon is up 3.36% on the day, which is an amazing move you saw in the middle of the day. I love this move that happened in the middle of the day, to be completely honest. That was like a 4% intraday move for a $2.5 trillion company. Ladies and gentlemen, that is a very big move for Amazon. Zeta supposed to have the interview later in about an hour and 30 minutes, which I'm supposed to be on. I got to be on that stream, baby. So I'm going to do a stream of the live interview with Mr. Dan Ives and David A. Steinberg, CEO of Zeta, with Ronnie V. Knots or Bull something finder, and also Nate Dogg or Nate. I don't care what his last name is. That's Nate Dogg. That's his new name. I'm going to call him Nate Dogg. We're going to be doing the interview, doing the live stream with that one. So head over to back here to the Wolf Financial. It's going to be a stream from there. Also going to be streamed in my channel as well. But actually, no, it's just going to be streamed on the Wolf Financial YouTube channel. But you can, since you're already subscribed, which I hope you are, you can just go ahead and check it out on there. Adobe bottomed out earlier today. So hopefully that thing's going to come back. I don't know why this sucker pulled back so much in the last couple of weeks. I'm certainly not happy about that. In fact, I did give my brother a stock tip to buy Adobe and I did not tell him to buy Zeta, unfortunately. And he is, let's just say he's pretty pissed at me. Path made a massive move today. I think I already said that about it's about 8% today. On Semiconductor, up about 5% today. Not closing near the highs of the day, but is closing at a pretty prestigious amount. Open Door closed at 960.93. We'll see what happens with that one. Ondas. So I'm bullish drone stocks. I'm bullish defensive stocks. Should have joined Ondas. Shy Buller actually got in this one under $1. So that is just insane how he was able to catch that move. But I know a lot of you guys following Stock Talk along D-Pro. So kudos to you. That's up 5% a day. NVIDIA closed just a little bit red in the day. From my experience with the CES events, it usually makes the move after the event or like the next day after his keynote, whatever, which should have been today. But I would not be surprised that thing makes a move back to the upside afterwards. But it looks like out of all the mega caps, you had Amazon having the most performance on the day. Google is slightly red. Meta was just basically flat the whole day. Microsoft up about 1%. But I mean, this isn't terrible to see, right? Tesla's down 4% today. I don't know the reason why. It probably has to do like way more Uber. Oh, that's right. Uber had its CES announcement with Lucid. So people are jumping back into it. I don't know the reason why it's like, oh, let's buy Uber and sell Tesla. Like, I never understand that whole thing. Maybe it's like a short-term move or whatever. Oh, wow. Chinese stocks pulled back today. They'll have their moment. ACMR. This one's a pretty crazy one. Shout out to the other community that's been buying this one pretty hard. But yeah, let's see where Micron's at. Oh, Jesus. Listen, if you want to fumble a short, then you would have followed me in that Micron short and you would have lost about 10%. But thank goodness I closed out the day after Micron. You can't win them all. Can't win them all. Navitas is back above $10, which is great to see. Man, Sky T, this is going to be haunting me forever. I guarantee you that's never going to have a pullback. SanDisk is up 27% today. Pretty insane. Applied Digital. That's another one of those Bitcoin mining stocks or ex-Bitcoin mining. I don't know. Maybe they still are Bitcoin miner. I'm not sure. That one closed up today. Actually, HUD 8. What are these charts looking like? Oh, wow. HUD 8 is trading near. Is it near all-time highs? Oh, no, it's not. That's the crazy thing about these Bitcoin miners. If you like zoom out very far away, they're not even at all-time highs. NBIS is at all-time highs. Is IREN at all-time highs? Yeah, IREN's at all-time highs. But I think it's because they IPO'd basically after that crypto bubble popped. Core Scientific. Yeah, it's at all-time highs. I mean, we'll see what happens, guys. CoreWeave. All right, we'll see. Nebius closed above $100. Congratulations for you Nebius bulls out there, including myself. Congratulations. But yeah, I mean, it's been a great day in the market. Just been a fabulous day in the market. Yeah, I know. Seriously, it's crazy. Oh my goodness, dude, silver. I don't know what is. Actually, I do know what's happening. A lot of people were short, and now they have to cover their short. And I've been saying like this does not look like a short right now. And look at that, silver made a new high, right? Because I remember this today, everyone's like pounding the table to short silver. And then people got excited about it the next day when it was down like 10%. And then people went more short silver. And then people went more short silver. And then people got excited here and then didn't take profits. And then they got their faces ripped off. So does this look like a short here? I'm not going to stand over here and try to short parabolic stocks. I'd rather long the ones that are going to go parabolic than short the ones. Mr. Stanley Druckenmiller himself has said that he does not short parabolic stocks. In fact, let me actually look for that interview that Mr. Stanley Druckenmiller has basically said that he learned his lesson back in 2000 and he does not short parabolic stocks. So hold on a second. I believe it's this one right here. I'm going to end up going over, aren't I? I need to end in 10 minutes. All right. But anyways, before I do that one, you guys who are on my channel, appreciate you guys tuning in. We have 64 people on the Wolf Financial YouTube. Yes. Thank you, guys. Thank you, all 64 of you. Appreciate it. Also, I mean, if you're on YouTube, show some love. Come by the YouTube channel. Say hi to all of us. You know, we're all doing good. I don't like this light. It looks like I'm drenched in sweat, but I'm not actually sweating. It's just the light. I got to fix this thing anyways. But go ahead to the youtube.com/@wolf_financial. I'm going to be cutting off the stream from my YouTube channel. So if you're on my YouTube channel, go ahead over there and you'll be seeing the rest of the stream in there. Please tell me that let me guess, I can't stop it. I'm like, I'm going to stop the stream there. I'm going to stop the stream there and then I can't stop it. Hold on, I'm just going to try to see something here. I don't know why I never tested this sucker out. I should have tested it out. I just didn't test it out. I'm not trying to screw you guys over. I don't know why I didn't test it out. All right, let's see here. Let's see here. Yeah, I'm giving maybe I'm giving you guys some time. Maybe I'm giving you guys some time to head over to the Wolf Financial YouTube stream. I don't know. Maybe I'm giving you some. Oh, here we go. All right, guys, go to the Wolf_Financial on YouTube. youtube.com/